Hi Sanjay, good morning.
Very good morning to you, ma'am.
How are
How
you
are you
doing?
doing, ma'am?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm pretty well. Thank you for asking, ma'am.
Great.
Yeah,
So tell me, give me a quick recap of what we did in the last class, please.
I cannot recall, ma'am. I forgot.
Very bad. Why did you forget? So that means my classes are not memorable enough for you? Is that
I
what the
was
reason is?
swamped with a lot of work. I was bogged down with a lot of work. That's why.
Swamped, swamped. Don't use idioms if you're not confident of using them. Okay, so it's not
Okay,
swamped or swamped. I was swamped with work. It's not a lot of work with work because swamped means to have a lot of work. I'm typing it there in the chat box. I was swamped
okay,
with work. Or when you use the word slog, again you use that also wrongly. I was slogging at work. So the best way to remember this, one second, I'm just typing it out for you in the chat. Can you see what I'm typing in the chat box?
yeah, I was slogging at work.
I
Okay,
was slogging at work. Now, slog is a verb. Okay. So always remember the formula for this is slog plus at. It does not change. Slog
okay,
plus at. The preposition that comes after slog is always going to be at. There is no change to it. That is what you
okay.
should remember.
So
So
I
I
was
was,
slogged. So can I say I was slogged with work?
no, you are not slogged with work. Slog is, that is what I'm telling you. You cannot use any other preposition apart from slog. Sorry, apart from at with slog.
Okay,
Slog is always going with at. That's it. I
okay.
was slogging at work. That's it. Simple.
And what about
Or,
bogged down?
sorry.
Bogged down, bogged down.
Okay, so if you are saying I was bogged down, complete the sentence. I was bogged down,
With a lot of work
not with a lot of work. I was bogged down with work.
with
Finished.
work.
I was bogged down with work. So I was slogging at work. I was bogged down with work.
With
That means
work.
I was bogged down with a lot of work. Or that
Mhm.
means I had a lot of work. That's what we're trying to say. Or the first one is to be swarmed with. So swamp
Has
goes
it
with.
meaning bogged and swamped? It
Same.
has
They're
same meaning
all the
like.
same. The same. They're all the same.
Mhm.
Swamp and bogged, they are all the same.
Okay, got it, got it.
Okay, and slog is with at. So always remember these formula. These are the only prepositions that go with these words. So if you remember these prepositions, then you will not make that mistake. Okay.
Got it,
Sanjay,
got it.
I think what we did the last time was I believe we had done a reading session. If you remember, we had done a reading session. I had given you an article about Prague. Do you remember?
Right,
So there was
right, right.
it was an article where I had discussed Prague, and there was a lot of snow and all of those things. So that was what the article was about. Shall we continue with the reading, or do you want to do
Yeah,
something else today?
you can do, ma'am. You can continue with the previous session.
The reading? Yeah, okay. So because I was thinking your pronunciation can improve and your vocabulary seems good. Only thing is you are not using it in the correct fashion.
Thank you,
That
thank
was
you. Actually, it means a lot for me. If you are commending, if you are appreciating this, it means a lot for me.
absolutely. No, I have to appreciate the good things that you do. You are using excellent language. The only thing is, you should be mindful of the way you use the language because otherwise, it'll become you're just unnecessarily making a grammatical mistake. That is what I'm trying to say. It's just these kinds of simple formulae, please remember. That is all I'm saying. I notice, Sanjay, more than vocabulary, because the good news is you have great vocabulary. So that's good news. More than vocabulary, your accent, the pronunciation. I am not saying that you should sound like a British person or like an American person. That's not what I'm saying. But the pronunciation, very important, very crucial.
Must be correct.
Yeah, the pronunciation must be correct. Otherwise, everything goes to waste. So what we'll do today is we will continue with our reading activity. Let me quickly go to the other screen. My screen may be frozen for 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. Quickly, let me go to the other screen and I will take the article for you. Okay? Uh, okay, I'm back, Sanjay. Today, the article I'm going to give you is a little more simpler than the previous article. It is a professional article, but it's a little more simpler. I have a reason for giving you this article. What I want you to do is, I will not tell you what the reason is. I will not tell you. I want you to take 1 minute. On my phone, I will set the timer to 1 minute. In
Okay.
that 1 minute, read the article silently. Don't read it loudly, silently. Read the article silently. After 1 minute, I will close the article from my side. That means I won't be able to see the article. But you should read the article in a fashion that I understand in the first shot what you are telling me.
Mhm.
Are we clear? Is it okay for you?
Now, could you repeat me?
The article, I'm going to paste an article for you in the chat box.
Okay.
I will set the timer on my phone for 1 minute.
Got it. Mhm.
In that 1 minute, I want you to read the article silently because you're seeing it for the first time.
Mhm.
So read it silently. Silently, you read. After 1 minute, I will ask you to read the article loudly.
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 Yeah.
But I will close the article from my side, which means I cannot see the article.
Mhm.
Only you can read the article. So that
Okay.
means when you read the article, I should understand what you are saying.
Got it. Got it.
There we are. This is the article. It was taken from an international newspaper. I will give you the details after you finish reading. So for
The
now,
same
it's nine,
exercise, the same exercise we had done earlier.
but this is a different article. This is a
Okay.
different article because I told you your pronunciation needs to be improved.
Mhm. I agree.
Vocabulary,
I have but MTI influence. I agree.
yes,
Hmm.
but your vocabulary is good because you used very good vocabulary. Only thing, there are slight grammatical mistakes, but that's fine. We can correct that. Pronunciation is important.
Right.
So you see the timer on my phone, I'm setting it to 1 minute. Okay? Read it in your mind for 1 minute and then we will talk. In the meantime, let me get some water. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay, Sanjay, your time's up.
Okay.
Sanjay, before I close the article and before you start reading the article, I want you to give me a summary of what the article was about. Can you do that for me?
Article is demonstrating that we should be dressed properly and we should have good attire and we should be presentable. Uh, so it is all about dress. It is all about attire, and we cannot wear anything which is odd, which is peculiar, I guess.
Excellency, your words are all excellent. You use the word attire. Let me just type it out for you. You use the word attire, one of my favorite words. Attire.
Mhm.
You use the word peculiar. Brilliant. Very good. You use the word peculiar. All of these are excellent words. However, you said presentive. Maybe I heard it wrong, but I heard you say the word presentive. Wrong. What you were trying to say was presentable. There is no such
Presentable.
word as presentive. It's presentable. Presentable means you should look good. When the
Mhm.
other person, when Sanjay sees Neetu, wow, Neetu looks so presentable. That means
I told presentable.
if said presentable, then I heard it wrong. My
Okay.
mistake. Presentable is great.
Mhm.
Now, the thing is, however, your sentences, because I want it to be perfect, Sanjay, because you're using very good words. But if your sentences are grammatically incorrect, then it's of no use.
Mhm.
You started off by saying the article demonstrates. Excellent choice of words. Very good. So demonstrate is also an excellent word that you used. Okay. You use the word demonstrate. But then you went into we dressed properly. The exact sentence that you said is we dressed properly. Why did you go into the past? We are
Mhm.
talking about something that is happening in the present, live. It is happening
Yes.
right now. So I don't want you to go into past or I don't want you to talk about the future. Speak in the present tense, simple
Mhm.
present. Always keep it in the simple present. Unless and until you are talking about an incident that is finished. This is not an incident that's finished. I am
Yeah.
asking you to talk about it right now. So, how is it finished? It's not finished. So,
Right.
you've got to say that the article demonstrates how, sorry, demonstrates the importance of presentable attire. The importance of presentable attire or the relevance of formal attire and how to dress up in a presentable fashion. So, in one sentence, because you gave me three sentences, first you said we dress properly, then presentable attire, good attire, then it should not look odd, it should not look peculiar. You could have combined everything together in one sentence.
Yeah.
So, this
Indeed.
technique that I used right now is called paraphrasing. What is the meaning of paraphrasing? Paraphrasing means
Paraphrasing.
paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means take the gist or the main portion. What is the meaning of gist? Gist means main portion.
Essence.
Excellent. Essence. The essence of the article you take and you twist it with your own language.
Got it.
You use your own language to twist it. That means don't use any words from the article, which is good, which is what you did. You used your own language. Brilliant. Only thing your sentences, they need to be more grammatically correct. That's it.
Constructive.
But good job. Good job. Okay, Sanjay. I want you to take a screenshot of whatever I'm typing, especially of this article, because I want you to practice in the site. Okay? Okay. Now you can start reading, Sanjay.
Okay, good. So where is the article, ma'am? I am unable to see.
There in the chat box.
Chat box.
Can you
Okay.
please go on top?
Let me scroll up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now I can see. Yeah.
You can start reading.
Okay. How do you dress for work without losing a sense of style? Our fashion critics offers insights on striking the right balance. This is a misinterpretation of the situation, a sort of inane inverse of the days that children should be seen and not heard. It suggests that adults should be heard but not seen, and in an increasingly visual world. That idea is a non-starter. The issue is not that you don't want to be noticed for your clothes. It is that you don't want to be noticed for the wrong thing about your clothes.
Stop. Stop. Sanjay, you started off by reading it in a good pace. You were not going fast, you were not going slowly. But as you progressed, you became slower and slower and slower.
Because the word were difficult.
Words were difficult, I know. But still, the good news is, despite the words being difficult, still you read them correctly. That is the best part. I knew that some of the words you're hearing for the first time, but these are excellent words for you to use in a professional context. I will explain how. Before that, I want you to pronounce certain words for me, okay? I'm
Yes.
typing it in the chat box. Can you pronounce this word for me, please?
Fashion.
Earlier, I heard fasten. Sa. I heard sa.
Okay.
Because this is not only your mistake, a lot of people have this problem. As
Okay.
a standalone word, first class pronunciation.
Mm,
But in the sentence, problem. So this
mm,
is something that you have to, it comes with practice. Only with practice, you can change. Okay.
Right.
So now let us go through each sentence by sentence. I want you to go back to the article. Start reading once again for me from how till balance.
No, where is how?
From how, that is from the first sentence till balance. That is one, two sentences. I want you to read the first two sentences.
Or first two sentences.
Right.
How do you dress for work without losing a sense of style?
Good. Next.
Our fashion critics offers insights on striking the right balance.
So, so now this is the heading of the article. How do you, now you pronounced it correctly. You saw? Now you pronounced it perfectly. How do you dress for work? So the question, the article is starting off with this question. How do you dress for work without losing a sense of style? That means what? What is, in simple words, Sanjay, what is the meaning of this question?
Uh, uh, Without having any sense, how can you dress up yourself? Uh,
No, no.
do you dress
Think before answering the question.
how do you dress for for work without losing a sense of style? How do you dress for work? Hmm. Yeah, if you are heading to do some work and you don't have suitable attire, and if you are not wearing adequate attire, so it doesn't make sense.
No.
Oh,
Can I help you
oh,
out?
sure, sure, please.
Okay. Once again, how do you dress for work without losing a sense of style? This was the question. Now we are going to apply the paraphrasing technique. I'm going to apply the paraphrasing technique. So, you know
Okay.
how if supposing Sanjay, you ask me, Madam, can you please tell me what is the meaning of this question in simple words? How do you, okay, I'm not going to tell, I'm going to type and I want you to read it for me. Okay.
What is this? What is paraphrasing, man?
Paraphrasing means taking the sentence and converting it into a simpler sentence with simpler language. Finished.
Okay, so make it simple.
It's simple. Make it simple. I will show you now how to make it simple.
Okay.
Oops. Okay. Can you please read this question?
How do you appear? Formal the style, uh, simu, simul, simultaneously. Simultaneously. Sorry. Sorry.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously. Yeah.
Okay, read the question once again, Sanjay. There were a lot of pronunciation mistakes. Read it once again.
How do you appear formal and style simultaneously?
Is it style? Read the word carefully. Is it style?
Oh, sorry. Stylish.
Yes.
Stylish.
Stylish. Now you got it right. So please read that question once again. I want the pronunciation to be perfect. Read it once again, Sanjay.
How do you appear formal and stylish simultaneously?
Perfect. Now you understood the meaning of the question. The author is asking, if you go back to the article, the author is asking, one second, how do you dress for work? That means formal. To dress for work means you have to be formal, no? You can't just wear jeans and t-shirt or you can't wear beach clothes and go to the office, correct? So how do you dress for work means how do you dress formally? Got it?
Okay.
How do you dress formally without losing what? Losing what? A sense of style. That means without being fashionable, you want to look fashionable and you want to look formal. Fashionable and stylish are the same meaning. Fashionable and stylish. You understood what I'm saying? Sense of style means what? Your fashion sense. You get it? So it means your fashion sense. So in simple words, the author is asking, how do you appear formal and fashionable simultaneously? Simultaneously means what? At the same time or
Mm,
in parallel.
got it.
Got it?
Indeed.
You understood how to do paraphrasing? Is it clear?
Mm,
You understood the meaning of this question also? So far, okay?
okay.
Okay.
Good.
Now, the next sentence. Our fashion critic. What is the meaning of fashion critic? Someone who is an expert in fashion and who looks at the positive and negative aspects of the dress that you are wearing. So supposing I am a fashion critic, Sanjay. I'll be like, oh, Sanjay, I like your shirt, but it seems a little loud. Sanjay's shirt appears to be loud. What is the meaning of Sanjay's shirt appears to be loud? That means Sanjay's shirt is making a lot of noise? No.
No.
Sanjay's shirt is very bold or it's got
Oh,
very bright colors.
okay.
So very bold or very bright colors is what
Opulent,
we
we
call.
can we use opulent?
Can we use what?
Opulent
Opulent.
instead
No.
of
Opulent means rich. That is
rich.
completely different. Opulent
Okay,
means rich.
okay.
Opulent means rich and it is mentioned in a positive fashion. However,
Oh,
loud is mentioned in a negative fashion.
enchanting, something is attractive or
Enchanting is positive. Enchanting and opulent are positive. These are positive adjectives. We are using it in a positive sense. For instance, wow, Sanjay looks enchanting in that shirt. Or Sanjay looks opulent in that shirt. Positive.
okay,
Sanjay's shirt is too loud. Negative.
too loud. Okay, got it.
Negative.
Next one.
Because the color is too bright. Red is a nice color, but too much red, it is blinding my eyes. So it
Mm.
is negative. And this is what we call a metaphor. When we say that Sanjay's shirt is loud, we are using what we call a metaphor in the English language. Metaphor is
Metaphor,
similar to an
metaphor.
idiom. It is similar to an idiom. It is nothing but a figure of speech.
Mm.
That is all. Okay. So now let us go back to the article. Our fashion critic offers insights on striking the right balance. What is the meaning of the sentence? That means the fashion expert. Now I'm going to do paraphrasing for you. The fashion expert is offering ideas. Insight means ideas.
Knowledge, yeah.
Insights on striking the right balance. Now, to strike the right balance is an idiom. It is an idiom. What is the meaning of strike the right balance? That means to find a common ground between two things. Sanjay strikes the right balance between presentation and punctuality. As an example, what is the meaning of this sentence? That means Sanjay ensures that his presentation is perfect. At the same time, he makes sure that presentation is kept within the time frame of 20 minutes.
Okay.
So he is maintaining the perfect balance between presentation and punctuality. That means he is carrying presentation and punctuality hand in hand.
And it,
Hand in
got
hand means what? Simultaneously.
simultaneously.
Are we clear now? So far, are we okay?
Got
Any
it.
doubts? Okay. So you see how they are using that idiom so beautifully in this article. The fashion critic offers ideas on maintaining the right balance between what? Between dressing formally and fashionably. Clear? This is the
Indeed.
first sentence. Now, can you read the next sentence for me from this? You can go back to the article and you can read that sentence for
Mm. Balance. This is the misinterpretation of the situation, sort of inane inverse of the adage that children should be seen and not heard.
me. This is where you're becoming slow. And I know you're becoming slow because the words are very new for you. Let me explain the meanings of the words. Inane. What is the meaning of inane? Inane is an adjective which means ridiculous
Ridiculous. Okay.
or silly. Ridiculous or silly or rubbish.
Can we use absurd?
Brilliant. First class. Ridiculous, silly, absurd. All these are synonyms for the word inane. Inane is advanced, absurd is intermediate, ridiculous and silly, basic.
Okay.
Next word you must be having hearing for the first time, adage. Adage is nothing but a proverb or saying. A proverb
Mm.
or saying. For instance, make hay when the sun shines. This is a very famous proverb. That means when it is still morning or when there is still time, do as much work as possible.
Make hay. What does mean of hay, man? Hay, H-A-Y?
Hay is the food that the cow eats. Cow, horse, and all that yellow straw. You will see
Okay.
it in the farms and all that. That is called as hay. So this proverb means make hay when the sun shines. A very famous proverb, very old proverb from the 16th century or 17th century, which means that when you have time, Sanjay, when you have time, when you are young, when you have a good job, do as much work as possible. Because once you become old, or once you lose your job, or once time is gone, it's too late to do anything. So if
Right.
you want to do something, you do it now. Make hay when the sun shines. So this is what is called as an adage. An adage is just a formal term for a proverb or a saying. Got it? So now let me explain to you. I think those were the two main words that you heard for the first time. So now let me talk to you about what that sentence means before we close today's session. This is a misinterpretation of the situation. What is a misinterpretation? That means in the previous sentence, the fashion critic is telling us how to be formal and stylish at the same time. Now,
Same time.
the author is saying that this, to be formal and stylish at the same time, is a misinterpretation of the situation. That means we are understanding the situation incorrectly or wrongly. That means it is impossible to do that. It is
Mhm.
impossible to be formal and stylish. How can you be formal and stylish at the same time? Ridiculous, yeah. That's what the author is saying. So
Mhm.
it is interpreting or understanding the situation wrongly or incorrectly. Now she is continuing. She is explaining it further. A sort of means kind of, silly opposites or absurd. We'll use your language. Absurd opposite of the proverb that children should be seen and not heard. This is a very famous, just like I told you, make hay while the sun shines. Children should be seen and not heard. I am explaining it to you. This is also a very famous proverb, which means that children should always, when adults are speaking, children should always keep their mouths closed. Children should not talk. So, this is a misinterpretation. That means, just like we say that children should always be seen, but children should not talk, same way, your clothes should only be formal, they cannot be stylish. That is what the author is trying to say. So, what I want you to do, Sanjay, take a screenshot of whatever we have learned today. And
Sure.
please, you said that you have a lot of work, but every day, Sanjay, for 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, you set the timer on your phone for 10 minutes. 10 minutes you will have.